Good afternoon, morning, evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. And today I'm calling it the Dee Wallace Show. She called it the Dee and John Show, but really it's the Dee Wallace Show. And I'm just thrilled to have Dee on today. It's a special call on the Monday. Typically, we reserve this for membership calls, but we switched things around and really wanted to bring Dee in. And I'm glad that we waited because there's an awareness and a sincerity in the way of being and acting within ourselves and in the world that's coming through really strongly for me. And I know if there's anybody who can unpack it with love and with heart and with so much wisdom, that it's Dee Wallace, and it has to do with the power of love. And that's what we're talking about today. So we're going to dive in with Dee. We'll open up to live Q&A as always. So if you want to raise your hand and ask your question, God, take advantage of it. And if you're not familiar with Dee, you're either under 25 years old or you've never been exposed to TV or movies, or to Beyond the Ordinary Show. But Dee's an internationally known actress with over 130 films, 4 series, and over 200 commercials. And best known for her role as the mother in Steven Spielberg's E.T. For me, she's best known as someone who I just couldn't help but open my heart to the first time I met her. And she's appeared on every major network, including Oprah, The Today Show. She's earned her teaching credentials from the University of Kansas and has worked as a teacher in the public school system, as well as her own dance and acting studios. And with her love of teaching, the principles found in Empowering for Children into Daily Sessions, a radio show in 5 books, her work now, how she shows up on Beyond the Ordinary, is really based on the principles of accepting responsibility and loving ourselves early in life to create the life that we desire. And how do we do that? Well, there's a listening that Dee takes us into. There's a communication and an intimacy that she teaches us how to access. So you're going to experience that and so much more during today's call. And it's with that Dee that, as always, just thank you for being here and for making time for all of us here on BTO.
You know, I always look forward to being with you, John. We're just soulmates, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It just feels right to be here. That's what we look for in life, right? That feeling.
Right. It's funny because I was sharing with you an experience I just had of traveling to different places and trying to, like, what sounded fantastic on paper and looked good was wonderful. But then when we were in the middle of it and trying to get through things and things were going upside down and topsy-turvy, it was in the listening. It's like, I need to realign in a different way. And so the plans changed and all that. And that's one example on how we can realign by listening. But again, we do it in relationships, we do it in our jobs, we do it in everything. Yeah, tell me, Dee.
Something just came in. Do you want to hear it?
Of course.
Okay. As you were talking, I didn't get it when we were talking before we're on the air. But when you were talking just now, they reminded me last year of something I went through very similar. And I remember I stopped and I said, what is going on? This is not my life. My life runs smoothly. I get love from people and I send, my life just kind of, and do you know what it was, John? For those of you that believe in this, now, I have to go into an explanation after I tell you that you had negative energy that was screwing around with you.
Oh, yeah.
You don't anymore. That's a true statement. But something happened at the very first, after you got there, that now, I hesitate to say things like that because people are, oh, the devil, and no. When you have negative energy that attaches to you, it's from yourself.
Mm.
It's from some fears or some buried beliefs that we forget to keep our heart open. And gosh, it's so incredible now that I think of it. It's almost exactly what you were describing to me about everything that happened. So, which leads me really into our subject right now, because when you are living in the state of love, which when I think of John Burgos, I think love. You just emanate love all the time. But you're human. I'm human. And when challenges happen to us, it can remind us of past life things, past challenges that happened when we were children, that make us go into fear or make us pull back to protect ourselves. And that's what I'm talking about around negative energy.
Wow.
So, guys, if you just stop and open your heart and go, no, I'm not doing this. I'm living in the experience of love. You bring yourself back to balance, and the negative energy turns to the positive of love. I was never really clear about that until this very moment right now when we're, wow, John, that's exciting to me to have that come in on the show.
That's really exciting. What comes to me also is that there is this itinerary that I was on, and it felt so amazing. And choosing to cancel the later part of the trip and what was supposed to evolve, also that was also a showing up for love instead of trying to force something that wasn't in alignment, right?
Absolutely. You went, wait a minute, this isn't in alignment. This is feeling out of alignment. But, aren't we taught from the time we can understand anything, do what they want you to do and push yourself. And it doesn't matter whether it feels right. You go here, we're taught to go here instead of here. And this, your heart, is where all the higher answers reside. That's where your true guidance is. But none of us are taught as children to do that. None of us are taught. I mean, how many of us had parents, and I had great parents that really supported my self-esteem, but I don't know anybody other than my daughter who was raised with, God, you're special, you're magnificent, you can do anything you want to do. Don't be afraid to speak up with your teachers. Respectfully. I mean, I don't know anybody that was raised that way. And that's really important, because our brains, the way we see ourselves in the world and the way we see the world seeing us, totally locked in by 8 years old, according to brain science. So whatever we're taught about loving ourselves and thinking we are awesome is what we build the rest of our lives on.
Yeah. There was a saying that I grew up with as I got older, it would just grate on me to no end, because it wasn't true, but so many people lived by this saying. It's like, oh my God, you have to take advantage of it. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm like, oh no.
No. There's not enough and it's going to be gone. And if you don't do it now, and I mean, we're just indoctrinated with all of that by well-meaning parents who wanted us to succeed, right? And wanted us to get ahead. But how were they going to teach us when they weren't taught? So love them and forgive them and now know the truth. And work with your inner child your little child to help reprogram your brain around that.
Well,
Let them know how awesome they are.
Yeah,
You
let's
are.
let's get into the science of that. What is the science behind the power of love?
Oh my gosh, there's so much information. The Heart Math Institute, for example, did this great test, and they put a strand of DNA in a closed tube, and they had a trained group of people focus love on it, and the DNA changed. It literally changed. It lengthened the telomeres, corrected. This was the first time, because scientists since the beginning have thought that DNA, you're just stuck with it. You're just stuck with it, you know. Greg Braden and Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton, you know, they've all done so much research, and they have proven now scientifically that only about 5% of our health, 5% of our money-making abilities are genetic. 95% are epigenetics. And what are epigenetics? All the stories you've been told, and all the things, all the belief systems that you created and have built your life on. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with your story, that except you keep telling it. And if you keep telling it, and they've proven that when you take yourself into the state of love, your hormones correct themselves, your cells respond. It's just amazing to study the science, because, you know, John, most of us think of love as something we have to get, right? Yeah. Let me find somebody to love me and I'll be happy. Let me have a baby so I can love the baby and experience love. But there's so much scientific proof around the more you love yourself, the more you permeate love into the world. I just did an experiment when I traveled the other day, as I was leaving to take off for Detroit. And I said, all right, God, you know what? I just want to put out love to everybody today. And I want to get lots of love back. Just send me a lot of love angels. So I'm standing at the airport and I'm getting ready to check my bags. And a guy in an orange vest walks by and goes, oh my God, it's Dee Wallace. And I said hi to him. And we had met before years ago when he had helped me with another problem at the airport. He said, you're not standing in line. Come on, I'm taking you through. I'm checking you in. I'm taking you in through the back way. And I'm walking you through security. I said, wow, you really answered that one. Right? So then I was in line for Starbucks, which was like a mile long. And he walks by again. He says, what are you doing? I said, I have to get something to eat. He said, come on, I'm walking you up to the Sky Club. They have a full breakfast. I'll come back and get you and walk you to the plane and take you right in. I mean, in my wildest imagination and creation, I would not have thought of that, you know? Wow. But just being in that state of love, you know, guys, you can't imagine what you summon to you when you're in that state. It's, and I practiced it the whole convention. And it was all, you know, sure, I was there to make money, but my primary focus and intention was to share love with people. And I received, John, so much love, not only financially, but people that would come up and go, Dee, I don't have any money, can't buy anything, but I want you to know how you've touched my life.
Oh,
Your
wow.
career has made such a difference. I mean, if you really embrace the power of it, it's simply astonishing to watch. It definitely affects your health. I mean, there's so much scientific proof of it. It's irrefutable. Definitely affects your money. For example, most people, let me just say it this way, you have to love anything you want. If you don't love what you want, you're not going to summon it. You're not going to call it in. Most people don't like money because they don't have enough of it. So they're not in the state of love around. Do you know every time I write out a check, I put a heart on it?
Oh, I love that.
Well, because I want to be happy about sending out my bills, because that's going to go out and help somebody else's life. And then the money always comes back to me. I was opening my mail that was here over the last 4 days. I know I'm running off at the mouth, but I'm so excited about all this. And I was opening and I saw a SAG residual check, and I went, you know, God, it's really time for a big residual from ET. And I opened it up and it was.
No way. That's so
good. It works, but you have to have faith that it works.
Yeah, there's a knowing in the presence that shows up. It's interesting also on this trip that I was on where everything seemed to go upside down. A couple of days before we were leaving from Mexico into Peru, and again, everything was just like not working. It just wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I asked out of love, if I'm not supposed to go on this next leg of the trip, I need a sign, like an obvious sign. It just needs to happen, because I don't want to put myself through this and then something else. And within 24 hours, I was laying in bed, shivering with a cold, could barely move, all these other things. And you can say, well, you got punished for that night. Maybe I could have asked better. But at the same time, I know that there was an intelligence and a love showing up for me saying, no, it's time to redirect.
Yeah, that's interesting that you bring that up, because they have also proven that the state of love will heal almost every disease. And the lack of love will create almost every disease.
Wow.
Yeah, and when you really go in and study the science of it, there's no argument about it. But again, we've never been taught the power of love. We've been taught that it's a wishy-washy feeling that somebody, when somebody loves me and it feels really good.
And then if they show it to me a particular way, that means it's correct. But again, I love how you show up in it really powerfully, but innocently as well. And then the magic that unfolds around it.
Yeah. Well, it's, again, it's being in a state of love for love's sake.
Yeah.
Not having an agenda. Oh, I'm going to feel love so I can get money. It's not what you're going for, guys. But it will come.
Yeah.
Especially when you love yourself. And everybody goes, well, I don't know how to do that. Well, you do. If you've ever had a dog or a cat or a bird that you loved, you know how to love. And if you know how to love, you know how to love yourself. You just have to be the source that you're sending that love to. Whenever we move into the state of love, it secretes a hormone called oxytocin. And oxytocin is the feel-good hormone. And again, they're saying one of the best ways to release oxytocin is to love on your animal. Just love on. They release oxytocin, you release oxytocin, you move into a state of love. Well, you know what? You can love on yourself. You can love on yourself, because if you don't know you're magnificent, let's just go to relationships, John. Okay.
Yeah.
So say you want to create a relationship, right? But you don't think you're worthy, and you think you're fat, and you're not attractive enough. So this is what happens energetically. So you can line up, like, say you're a woman, 10 fabulous looking guys in a room, and you walk in and go, oh, you know, I really want a relationship, and I want a relationship with a hot guy like you, and I want to be happy, and I want to have fun, but I'm a big piece of dog do, and you know, I'm too fat, and I'm not really worth much. How many of those guys do you think are going to step forward? Nobody. But if you go, you know what? I'm freaking awesome. You want to play with me? Come on, let's go. Then everybody wants to step forward, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, such a simple example, but so profound, so powerful in the way that
That's, you know, it's so important, that signal. When you're in the state of love, that goes throughout your entire body and affects everything in your body and your brain. But it also shoots out from you out to the universe. The universe's job then is to match that and send it back to you in the experience of your life. So it really does all begin with you guys, and it's so easy, but we've not been taught that it's easy.
Right. So what do you tell people who don't feel that self-love, or that they can emanate that love, or that they're worthy, or that they're deserving of it? Because it's one thing to talk about the power of love and bringing it in and emanating it and using it as a signal to co-create with the universe. But what if we find it void within us?
Well, it's kind of tough love. But I tell them, you're not choosing to. We all have felt love, John.
Yeah.
We've all felt love. So we know how to feel love. We're just not choosing, because of all those messages and all those belief systems. We're not choosing to be the first person to send it to. And, you know, there's such simple things you can do. Smile. Again, they have scientifically proven the power of smiling will rearrange your brain to make you feel better. Start laughing.
Yeah.
Right? Again, get an animal. Get an animal that you can love. Or I mean, my daughter used to love on a hamster when she was little. She used to love on a snake when she was little. You know, but we choose to want to give love out to other things and other people. We don't choose to start here. And this is where it all emanates from.
Yeah, one of the most powerful things that well, you do so many powerful things, but we were in Los Angeles presenting live, and you turn on the video, and it was a video of a baby laughing for like 2 minutes. Oh my God, everybody in the room was just beaming. Beaming love from a video of baby laughing for 2 minutes. It was amazing.
And you can download those on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, and put them on your phone and play them whenever you want to. But you have to choose to do that. And you have to choose when you're, I mean, like last night when we were sitting on the tarmac for an hour and 40 minutes. And I heard myself going, oh, this is just BS. And I stopped and I went, this is not going to get you what you want, Dee.
Yeah.
This is making your blood pressure go up. This is not summoning to you what you want. So how can you love yourself enough to adapt to this situation and be okay with it?
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm starting a film tomorrow and I went, oh my gosh, I could learn all those lines. And I took all that time and got all my lines learned. But I had to ask myself, what could I do? Right?
That pause.
I could have meditated. There were so many choices.
Yeah, that pause is amazing. What I find really effective also, just to get into the vibration of it, and it's a conscious choice, and I don't always do it, obviously, but when I do, it's like something inside me just wells up. There's this flow. But when I see other people being happy, or couples in love, or people enjoying themselves, and I just smile at the acknowledgement of it, there's a shift in energy that happens physically in me. It's not just a mental state of being, but my physicality changes also.
Absolutely, because all your cells are responding to that.
Yeah.
Everything. You know, Bruce Lipton, I'm sure I'm not going to say it as a direct quote, but he said a body in fear or anger is diminished. A body in love thrives.
Beautiful.
It's pretty simple.
Well, speaking of simple, and I know it's perhaps not as simple as it sounds, but you'll make it simple. You talk about how love and God work together. I'd love it if you elaborate on that.
Well, what's the first thing that we're taught in Bible school? God is love.
God is love.
Right? So if we move out of the state of love, we move out of the oneness with God. And vice versa. Because it literally is the same energy. You know, in the good book, it says, think only on these things, positive things, things that are loving, things that lift you up, right? So Christ was really teaching brain science, because brain science, of course, says whatever you focus on, you create more of in your life.
Yeah.
So to focus on your faults, your lack, your challenges, your inability to cope, all the stuff that we judge ourselves with, you will create more of that experience of you in your life. It's really important, guys, to know that how you define yourself is how you create yourself. A really good example, I was doing some work for an actress back at the convention, and she said she had been pinned, which means put on a veil, for all of these, I don't know, it's something like 21 projects and not been booked. I went, no, there's definitely something here. So I got my pendulum out, and what it was, John, and I benefited a lot from this. What it was she had defined herself as an actress who was trying to get work. So that's all she could summon in, was trying to get work. She had to start saying, I am a working actress and I book all these jobs. I'm not looking to try and be an actress. I am an actress and I'm a working actress. And I went, I think there's a little bit of that going on in me too. We fall into that, you know, before you know it.
Right. Right. And we have to get up that that comparative energy with other people who have that type of talk. It's like it's insidious
Yeah,
in industries. And we have to realize the power of our creation, the power of our thoughts, the power of our chemistry to communicate with the
yeah.
universe and to be in reciprocal relationship with what we are resonating with.
And that's not a match to self-love.
Hell no.
Saying that I'm less than who I really am, not
Mhm.
a match to self-love. Judging myself, not a match to self-love. That's everything I don't want everybody else to do. And
Mhm.
yet we're doing it to ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, Dee, the conversations lately about things aren't working out the way I wanted, and I have to wait for things, and why is it taking so long? And this has me held back, or I feel like I'm being pushed back. And instead of things are happening for me, and there's things that are readjusting that's
Yeah.
really coming in for my benefit. And wow, I can see how I'm realigning in a way that's going to be so much better than I could have
Yes.
contrived.
I'm
And that's a
telling
different
you, try
conversation.
going to love.
Yeah.
No, just go
Go to love.
to the
Yeah.
state of love around everything you want and watch the magic happen. One of my favorite statements is don't wait, create.
Mm,
And you know, when the pandemic happened, John, I went into a little bit of panic because all the studios shut down. I went, oh my God, am I going to make a living? Right. And the channel said, the studios aren't your money, your consciousness is your money. So get up every day and create something. So
mm,
I got up every day and I went, all right, there are parameters in my world. What can I create anyway? And do you know, I had an exceptionally successful and busy year during the pandemic.
you did.
I just finished my last book. And when I went back, the channel had me write the last chapter on everything that I had created monthly during the pandemic. I was astounded, John.
Mm,
Which brings us, of course, to how much are we acknowledging what we do, which
yeah.
is self-love. How much are we saying, wow, look, I did that. I got through, I created, I kept going, and I was happy and I was successful. And really acknowledge ourselves
Mhm.
for all that we do in those times.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, in the last 5 years that I've known you longer than that, but in the last 5 years, you look younger and more vibrant than I've seen you in a
Oh,
while. But really, it's
thank you.
really it's an emanation of what you're vibrating at,
Well,
what you're putting
and
out into the world.
it's true because the more BS you let go of from your energy, the more negative thinking, the more judgment you let go from your energy, the lighter your energy gets. And
Yeah.
I thank you for that lovely comment. I heard it so many times
Notable.
uh,
Yeah.
over the weekend. Of course, I was summoning in love, but I get up every day, quite frankly, and look in the mirror and go, hi, Deanna, you're aging younger today. So I define myself that way.
Yeah, so beautiful. So, I want to open up to Q&A if you're ready. I want to get into
Oh, so I
some
love working with them. You know
client
that.
questions and just going in. So I'm going to start promoting some of y'all here to panelists. And if you can turn on your video, it's fantastic. We'd love to see you. But as you're coming on, get ready, and because decent for telling, which is so
The
wonderful.
spirits got me today, John.
The spirits touch you every day. What are you talking about? Um, all right, they're coming on. And while everybody's coming on, also, everybody, we're going to get into the special offer in a little bit, which as always
Yeah.
includes a written reading from Dee that you're going to want to participate in. And all right, we've got our first people on here. So Jenny, let's go to you first. If you can unmute yourself, please. And welcome.
Thank you. And John, I'm really glad to see you back with us. And I'm sorry you had to have a hard time.
Me too.
And Dee, I love when you come on the show. So thank you for being here once again.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a challenge now. My husband has colon cancer and we're going through chemo, or he's going through chemo.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if you have any
Inside.
ways to support or insight or whatever help you can give.
Okay, sweetheart. First of all, look at me. Let me just send you some love.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So much love. Do you think he's ready to go? Do you think he's ready to transition?
He has mentioned that, you know, he wished he hadn't woken up from the surgery, but he's living for his girls. And, you know, we take it one day at a time, but
Yeah.
we pour love into him.
And that's the biggest thing you can do right now. And the channel is saying, honor his decision. Whatever the decision is, if he makes the decision to go, sweet thing, honor that choice. That's the biggest way you can love yourself and him, right? I can tell you, I've talked to so many people on the other side. Nobody leaves without choice on a soul level. That doesn't mean they're choosing to leave you, right? It just means that what the channel is saying, that they've learned what they need to learn. And, you know, I have some of you, a lot of you know Dolores Cannon when she was alive. Dolores, took me touring with her for a whole summer. And she did a great reading for me, put me under and hypnotized me. And she asked my husband, Chris, who passed right at 55, why he left so early. And he said, so Dee could move into her power.
Wow.
Yeah. So I give you that perspective, my beautiful person. Hold on. You should know around 6 to 7 months which way it's going to go. So just love him and support him in his decision. Is there anything higher? No. I hope that helps give you some peace, sweetheart.
Thank you.
You bet.
Yeah, so many people sending you love as well. So thank you.
Thank you,
See, you summoned it in.
So beautiful. Okay, let's go to our next caller. Mary, welcome. And Mary, let's get you to unmute. You guys find your unmute button before I call on y'all. Mary, can you find it? There you go.
I got it. Hey.
Hey, Miss Mary.
Hey there. Oh my gosh. I don't know who to put my arms around first.
But your arms are big enough to take in both of us, baby.
Gotcha. Oh my God. I love you guys both so much. And you know that.
We love you too, baby.
Thank you. I've been listening, of course, to all that you're saying. And John, I'm sorry you've gone through quite a bit of challenge lately.
No, y'all don't be sorry. I actually want to say this. Don't be
Wrong
sorry. 'Cause
terminology. You're
I
right.
felt alignment and refinement and redirection, and in that
Yeah.
I have no complaints other than, damn, I wish it could have been easier.
Yeah. But
Okay,
you
that's
know,
where the I'm
guys,
sorry comes in.
Right.
Could
we're
have been
all
easier.
learning too. You
Yeah.
never stop learning. You
Right.
never stop
No.
learning how to align. You never stop learning how to balance challenges.
Mhm.
You don't ever stop learning.
Yeah.
The
For
Dalai
sure.
Lama talks about that all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
So what's your question, Dee?
Oh, I have an interesting one that's going on with me now. My husband has been really sick in all kinds of just internal things, I think. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. It's in his, and so we talked about it the other day, and I said, okay, what's really scaring you? What's going on? Because he was getting really off the charts with me, and he goes, well, what the doctor said to me about my this being too low and that maybe it would affect my liver and this and this and this. I didn't think I'd go that fast. And I said, oh, really? You've been thinking about this for a long time about going, and now it's in front of you, and you don't want it, do you?
Okay, so I want to get to why he's in this state, Mary. And I want everybody to hear this. This is going on with so many people.
Mhm.
They just didn't sign up for all the BS that's going on in this world.
Totally
And
agree.
they don't know how to handle it. Literally inside, they are in turmoil.
That is so perfect. Yeah. He's scared to
Everybody
death.
needs to be really aware of this. Again, we know in our communities like this, again, what we focus on, we create more of. So if we're focused on the chaos, we will be creating chaos within ourselves. And when we create chaos and look at the negative, our cells, our hormones, our glands, they all react to that, guys. Everything in your body. Okay, let me stop and say this. Everything that's in the state of dis-ease in your body starts in your energy first.
Absolutely.
And if you don't address it, then you'll start getting a little annoyances. And then if you still don't address it, you'll start getting minor diseases. And then if you still don't address it, you're going to get the major stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
So does he watch the news a lot, Mary?
I think he does.
I mean, not that you have to, you get it
movies.
anyway.
Yeah. He loves to watch movies, but I think in between he watches these news things, and he lets that infiltrate into where he is.
It's going
He's
to
really
my big
scared. Yeah.
Well, because, you know, really, guys, we've never seen our country like this.
No.
We haven't. And we're not going to make it any better if we go into the fear and the hate and the judgment that's going on. We're only going to make it better if we hold the country in love. So I'd like everybody to just close your eyes and visualize the United States. You all know what it looks like, the outline, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just see the word united across it.
Yes.
Mm.
Now, if you go into the state of love before you do that, it's even more powerful. And you're not trying, you're not forcing, you're just being in the state of love, seeing the outline of the country and seeing the word united. You know, some of us have been doing that with California and seeing the word rain.
Yes.
Well, it hasn't rained a lot, but it has rained twice in the last 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're more powerful than you know, guys, but you're as powerful negatively as you are positively.
It almost comes through more powerfully because you lose track of where your heart is. When you let that negativity come in, it seems like it's more powerful than the love side.
Yeah, but
And it's not. No, it isn't.
It is powerful because whatever state you are in, you will summon that to you and you will create more of it.
Yeah.
Well, what's also coming in our spiritual maturity, and I really think that we're going through a phase of spiritual maturity, is that we're learning to catch ourselves where we're in that negative conversation more and more. And so we have to pay attention. We have to, not that we get to choose to, because of where we're heading and the maturity of that energy. It's truly our responsibility for not what we're creating just for ourselves, but what we're creating for the people that we say that we love.
Yes.
As well.
And for the people we don't even know.
Yeah.
Which hopefully is also the people we love.
For the whole. We're creating for the whole.
You bet.
All over. Yeah.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in. Oh, love you.
Thank you. I love you, John. I love you, Dee Dee. You know that.
I do know that.
Wonderful.
Bye-bye.
Before we go into the special offer, let's take another call, then we'll get into some more calls because this is wonderful. Pierina, let's go to you tonight. Welcome.
Hi, John. Happy
Hi.
you're back and looking good and healthy.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah. I have a question about the vaccines. So my whole family's vaxxed and they're really pushing it on me, and I don't want to take it yet because I know I can clear it on myself. I've cleared some people of COVID, but I don't know. And I just feel like on the news they're all about this variant is stronger now, and now it's going after the children. And I just feel like it's just, I don't know. What do you think is really going on about that? And which one do you recommend?
I actually talked about this on my Sunday show. The basis of the COVID virus is the fear that we have no control. So what's the argument about? You're taking my control away from my life, right? It's interesting to watch the dynamic when you know what the core of it is. What the channel said about the vaccine is you all came together to ask for a miracle to heal this. We gave you one, and now you're doubting it.
What's the miracle?
The miracle is the vaccine.
So you trust these vaccines?
I absolutely do. I've done too much testing around all of them for my community.
Which one do you recommend the most? Because I'm sort of scared about this whole mRNA. I don't want anyone changing into my cells, you know? I think we're created.
No, that's see, there's so much misinformation out there, and that's the problem, the challenge. But I'm testing it right now. There is really no difference between the Pfizer and the Moderna. They're interchangeable. When I say the Johnson & Johnson is as effective, I get a no, but it's safe and almost as effective. And would you feel okay if I asked the channel what it's really about that you don't want to take it?
Yes, please.
Okay, but could you give me a song, please? Any song that pops in.
I don't know.
Well, get out of the way, they'll give it to you.
Sorry, I don't know.
Give up. It's interesting because you see what we're witnessing is having to give up control.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want anyone controlling my cells and how they're going to go. Like, I don't.
Well, then why don't you?
What?
Why don't you say, all right, I love myself enough that I choose to be protected from this virus. I love my body enough to keep it healthy. So I am directing my body to accept this vaccine that I'm choosing to enhance my immune system and keep me safe and healthy. Then you're in control. Nobody is taking the control away from you. But you see, you have to know that when you direct your energy must respond. And if you really want to look into that, read the I Am discourses, because that's what it's all about. God said, I am that I am.
Mhm.
Meaning, I can't be God if I don't claim that I am God. Right?
Yeah.
Everything in the world, guys, is energy. There's nothing that's not energy. Energy's always been here. It's always going to be here. But energy must have a direction, or it will accept a direction from the TV, from misinformation on the internet, from your spouse that doesn't know, from your childhood who was in fear of getting the polio vaccine that we all got. You know, you need to consciously tell your energy where you want it to go and know that it will respond.
Is there a way that you can ask which one is better for my body? Like, I'm
Yes.
just curious. Yeah,
Um,
which vaccine?
Well, this surprises me because I helped somebody else this morning with the same thing, and it said interchangeable, it doesn't matter. For you, it's the Pfizer.
Pfizer is better? Okay. Because my whole family's Pfizer. That's why I thought, well, genetically it works good. But originally at the beginning, when they were all working on a vaccine, Spirit told me Johnson & Johnson. But now I can't even
No,
get it.
get a big no. I get a
No?
big no on that.
I get
Yeah.
the same thing, Dee. Whenever I look at the vaccines, it's the same too. And I start with Moderna and then go to Pfizer, but Moderna is better for me.
Yeah,
Which is,
that's
it's
true.
so interesting, but it's just,
Well, I think it has a lot to do with subconsciously what we've picked up
yeah.
about them, you know, and how they've been represented, what information we picked up on a news feed somewhere, you know, John. So
yeah.
much of this is subconscious.
Yeah.
But just know, if any of you are going, well, nobody's going to take my right away. Nobody can take your right away.
Mm.
You are the direction of your own energy, but you have to step forward and take that responsibility.
Breathe that in, Gideon. Breathe it in. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
That's so
Beautiful.
wonderful.
Thank you.
So let's go. We're going to go to some more live calls in a little bit. And I want to get into the special offer from Dee, and this is so good. April, if you don't mind, type in the link for the special offer into the chat box. So everybody, y'all will find it there at the very bottom of the chat box. There it is at 2:55 p.m. my time anyway. You can also get to the special offer by typing into your web browser, beyondtheordinaryshow.com/DEE 25. It'll take you to that same page. And Dee, if you wouldn't mind, guide us through
Oh, well,
you're receiving.
I really, you know, John, I know I say this every time, but I joyously labor over what I'm going to put together for you, because I really make it special, you know. Whoops, did I lose you? Oh, I see, that's coming. Okay,
I put the screen up.
so the first thing is the I Love Me Play Shop. This is way underpriced. I gotta say, but that's what I do, you know, so everybody can participate. The I Love Me Play Shop was a weekend seminar that was so powerful. Lot of interaction. You'll see a lot of people getting up on stage and working with me. It's an amazing program. We look at belief systems, we look at love, we look at loving ourselves and how it's working in our life, and it's on camera. So you're there, like there in the room with me. Holding the focus of self-love. That is a very powerful webinar I did into the exploration of self-love and really specific steps and techniques and experiences so that you can, you know, really understand how to use it. And they're easy, guys. They're easy. I keep everything easy. And I'm really excited about the urgency of self-love. Patricia Cota-Robles, John, joined me
Oh,
on
wow.
this, yeah, on this webinar. And, you know, Patricia just brings a whole different perspective into things that I love. Very, very powerful meeting with Patricia Cota-Robles. She's very connected to the higher realms, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And the simplicity of self-love. My daughter, when her book came out, which by the way is helping millions of people across the globe, came on to teach her very simple things around, you know, she went through a horrible divorce, guys, and was abandoned by another relationship. And she created a thought onion to help you see what your superficial thought is and what your next thought and what the real subconscious thought is. How to choose to do things every day that create you loving yourself more. And then of course, the simplicity of self-love. That's a Dropbox presentation. And then I do a personal reading for everybody. Yeah, there's her self-love cocktail.
I love
I
it.
love, you know, it's so simple, but how can you make a cocktail for yourself every day where you truly choose? It's like mixing a drink. What do I want to mix for the life I want? And of course, I'm very, very proud of her. And
Oh, she's epic. She's just so good.
she's pretty powerful, isn't
Yeah,
she?
she is.
And then, of course, the personalized channeled email is around how to discover how to most greatly access the force of love in your life. What's in your way? What belief system is in your way of self-love? When I did that with myself, I was astounded, because what your conscious mind thinks it is usually isn't at all what's really going on. Just like we found out with Mary, you know. So anyway, that's it, John. It's a great package, guys, but you'll feel into that. Don't go to your head, go to your heart.
No, go to your head, go
Ask
into
if
your
it's
heart.
right for you.
And the value of this, you're crazy, but whatever, Dee, $360 value. It's so much more than that. Just the first part's valued at that. But again, y'all, this is $111. You get the personal reading from Dee. You get the 5 hours of recording the first module. You get Patricia Cota-Robles and Dee together. That's just a whole nother level of expansion. And then Dee and Gabrielle, her daughter, and how they create together is just, I've witnessed them together in a social situation. It's just so beautiful. You can feel the energy, the expansion of energy occurring and what becomes available.
Yeah, we're pretty powerful duo. We are.
You really are. It's fantastic. So again, y'all, Dee puts us together for BTO every time with so much love. Say special, it's $111. There's a 2 payment option, and jump on that reading with Dee, because Dee, like I say, will not hold back, but she'll do it with so much love and compassion, but really with that razor's edge that just takes you to exactly what you need to know, so that you can move forward with grace and just stop dealing with the BS that does not serve you anymore. So you all take advantage of it. The buy now button on your screen will not work right now because it's my screen I'm sharing. But go to the link in the chat box or go to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/D25 and it'll take you to that same page. And if my computer will let me, maybe I'll stop sharing, but it has decided not to let me stop sharing. So, Dee, can you hear me okay?
I can, yeah.
Okay, well, let's see here. April, if you'll have made you a host. Dee, pick anybody. Well, I can pick people from here. Fiona, let's get you to unmute yourself as my computer catches up. And let's get you to ask your question of Dee, please.
Hi, baby.
Hi, how are you, Dee? Hi, Joe.
Pretty
How are you
awesome.
guys? Yeah, it's so great to be with you.
Thank
This
you.
is my daughter, Natalie, and I would challenge you, Dee, that I also think she knows she can do anything in her life. Because-
Absolutely. Get a big yes on that.
So is it okay if she asks you a question?
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love it.
Come on. She's being a little shy. Go
Well,
ahead.
that's okay, but I'll hear her question anyway.
You can do it. Oh, you want me to? You want me to tell her question?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Fiona. If she feels better with you asking it, that's fine.
Okay. So her question is about, the racial,
I'll do it.
she'll do it.
So I've been reading this book for summer break for my AP language class. And the book is called Zootin, if anyone wants to read it. It's really good. But it's
It's
about
called what?
Zootin, Zeitoun.
Okay.
And it's about this Islamic family who survives Hurricane Katrina. But the dad stays back to watch the house, and the family goes to Baton Rouge to stay with the family. And he ends up getting arrested for looting, and he's just going around and helping people and like feeding dogs, just being a good Samaritan. And he's a Syrian immigrant. He's been there for like 10, 15 years, and he gets arrested and imprisoned for 5 months, completely unlawfully, doesn't get read his rights, doesn't get a phone call, and people keep telling him that he's like a member of Al Qaeda. So what it brings up for me is how many racial profiling issues we have in America. And I was wondering how we as, whatever, can help fight against that.
Okay. The first thing is you don't want to fight against anything. If you fight against something, where's all your focus?
Anger.
Yeah, it's on what's wrong, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Your focus is on what's wrong. And whatever we know, that whatever you focus on, you create more of. Right?
Right.
That's brain science. They've proven that. Okay. So the best way, I'm testing this while we go, the best way to create love and acceptance, that's the highest word, acceptance. Sheets, book. Could you give me a movie, baby? Any movie that pops into your mind?
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Okay, that's great. Okay, because what's that about? It's about a magic closet, right? Am I right? Am I remembering it correctly? That
Yeah.
you can walk in and go into an entirely new world, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Do you believe that's possible?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we need to do to create acceptance. We cannot create what you are asking by focusing on the injustice that's going on. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't take action when you vote, for example. But the biggest action you can take, hold on, they're giving me a picture here. It's what you gave me? Oh, is to see, just everybody visualize, close your eyes and visualize a line of different racial people, different races of people lined together, and see the word acceptance. Just see the word acceptance written across all of them. Now, more powerful than that is go to your heart and feel love. You do that by thinking of an animal that you love, a place in nature that you love, a song, even a song. Wow, that's the first time they gave me that. That must be for you, baby. A song that you love, to really feel that love and just let that expand. See that line of people and see the word acceptance over them. And that feels like love. When we all accept each other, it feels like love. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Wow.
Yes.
You could feel it, couldn't you, baby cakes?
Hmm?
Yes, you
Yeah.
could?
I could too.
Good, good. You see, then we're not trying to force anything. We're just matching up the feeling of love with the beautiful acceptance of everybody. And that tells our brain, oh, equality feels like love. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great way to create anything. And I really honor you for being so involved and in integrity about looking into this.
Thank you.
Yeah, we need more people like you.
That's beautiful. And
Yeah,
thank you for bringing that in, Dee. And I just wanted to bring to light and awareness for all of us to carry. And in that, it's the masters that we've experienced and that we revere. Joshua, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King. They didn't eliminate hate with hate. They
yeah,
didn't war against it. They brought in, Mother Teresa's message was that they'd asked her, and this isn't an exact quote, but why isn't that you fight against this tyranny? Why isn't it that you expose it? Why isn't it that you do something more about it? And her response is, I'd be going against my teacher's mastery. And when he was teaching me was to love. And if I condemn them, I'm not really stepping into what I was taught and what my mission is. And it's so beautiful. And these are people who have had impact all over the world. So it's so important. Indeed, you put it in such an elegant and accessible way. So thank you for that.
well, it needs to be easy. And the channel also wants you to know, baby, that always, wow, always, like Christ stepped forward at the end of his life, always people are choosing on a soul level to step forward to experience things like this, to raise the consciousness for the masses.
Wow. Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much for your question. Let's go on to our next caller.
Beautiful.
Rabia, hello. Welcome to the call.
Get this little animal.
Yeah,
Hello.
they're very attracted to the energy, aren't they?
He always comes to John's
Yeah.
every he okay, little man. He every time he does, all week, I keep hearing, you have to work with Dee, you have to work with Dee. And I keep feeling like, I'm, I'm a little scared. I might not, but
Am I scary?
no,
No.
Only in my movies. Only in
No,
my movies am I scary.
but it's this recent time, I really want to listen to your class on the violence and the social justice stuff.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's going on, and I don't know if you can speak to it, is I'm almost a bit in grief, I would almost say, a weird way, because I feel like the last thing I expected to wake up from is, I feel like there is quite a bit of sort of disinformation within, not to say this group of people, but some of this community at large. And I was
There
unaware.
is disinformation within all of us.
Mhm.
Okay, that's good to,
Within all of us. For example, the judgment that we use against ourselves. That's misinformation.
yeah.
Okay. So our great opportunity is to hold the intention of knowing the highest truth.
Yes.
And the highest truth, guys, is always love.
Mm.
And how can you feel that the most? By loving yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel a bit like it's been interesting that it's like a hibernating bear, something just woke up from like
Yeah.
20 years.
It did.
And I didn't think that it would be waking up from some parts of the judgments I had about being spiritual or just all these sorts of things. And that's been a surprise. It's been very healthy, but it's just never what I expected because I had a
Well,
lot.
but you know, if stuff is buried, we can't see it, but it's still there. It's still a part of our consciousness and our energy.
Mhm.
And right now, what you're seeing is everything erupting so that we can see the truth of what's going on and recreate it. And
Yeah.
John, they're screaming at me to add the last webinar on racism that I did. Is that gonna be hard to?
That's easy. Absolutely. It's so easy.
Okay, I will have Lauren send it to you. It's that one too. Hold on. I did one on racism. And I did one. Gosh, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it was all about I'm trying to, I'm so shocked that they're telling me to do these two. The other one is all about the gun amendment.
Mm.
Oh,
And what the basis of it and the truth of it really was in the beginning. Because right now, people are saying, well, you're not going to take my right. You know, the Constitution has always said I have the right to bear arms. Well, it's not true.
Mm.
For 200 years, the way the Constitution was read was that only the militias had the right to bear arms, not the people. Interesting. I felt like I went back to college.
Wow.
Creating these two webinars. So they're telling me to add these two webinars that people, especially, I'm sorry, forget her name, the little girl that had her question. She's going to be really interested in this stuff about racism. And the other one. Okay. She opened a whole can of worms. Look at how powerful she is, that little one. Okay. All right, John. So Lauren works remotely. I'll try and get those to you tonight. Okay.
Wonderful. We'll add it to the package. And if you buy the package and it's not a download, it'll be downloaded afterwards. You'll have access to it. It's super easy.
Okay, great. I'm not throwing you a curveball here.
No, not at
All
all.
right, great.
Sweat it on her.
That feels good. Because now I understand. They said, how can we truly move into the state of love if we don't understand these principles of the judgment that is going on? Yes. All right. Now I understand the tie-in, because I'm going, what the heck is that? Okay. So we're doing that. All right.
All right, wonderful.
Thank you. I've been feeling very drawn to buy those two and to somehow work with you. So I will be buying.
Look what you created, baby. You created getting them anyway. But I'd sure love to work with you. And I'm really a nice broad. I really am.
Dee's all right. You'll like her.
No, it's great. Thank you so much.
You are so
Amazing.
welcome.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing this all in. Oh my gosh.
That's so wonderful. And this,
A couple months, but hey.
Okay, babe.
Thank you.
thank you,
Bye.
Rabia, so much. And this really takes me, Dee, to the place when we're in doubt, in anger, in judgment, we're really being in ignorance. And so
Yes.
there's something, and if we just pause and go, wait, if I'm in these energies, there's something I don't know. Can I
You're
just
taking
pause?
yourself out of creation.
Right. And if we
You're
can just
in
pause,
reaction.
right? If we can just pause to catch
Yes.
ourselves back.
Yes. It's a choice, guys.
Mhm.
It's just a choice.
Yeah.
And I self-talk to myself. I go, like I did on the airplane, Deanna, this is not going to get you what you want. This judgment and this fear and everything, it's pushing your money away. It's pushing your blood pressure up. It's not getting you anything you want. So stop it. What do you want? Oh, right. And the answer is always, I go to my heart and I go to love. It's so easy, guys. You don't have to well, maybe I'm not going to figure it out right. Maybe I'm not going to say the right words. No, you just go to the feeling of love.
Yeah.
And it brings you all back in balance and puts you on the right trajectory.
I love it. I'm smiling huge because you called yourself Deanna. I just love it. I love it. Let's go to the next caller. Judy, welcome to the call. What's your question for Dee? And let's get you to unmute, Judy.
John, it's great to see you. I've missed you.
Good to see you as well.
And Dee, I'm so pleased to be here. I want to tell you, the first 5 minutes that you were on, the energy that was coming through was just over. And I'm delighted about that.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to ask you this question. I have been getting a lot of vibrations in my body.
Yes.
And I want to
They're
know
positive. I want you to know that they're positive.
Okay, and even like I'll find my head shaking and moving, like I do sometimes when I'm in a meditation or something, but I'll be walking around just kind of swirling in this energy. And I was wondering if you can give me some insight on that.
Well, I'm sure my channel can.
Thank you.
But give me a song, baby. Any song that pops in.
What's new, pussycat?
Okay, you are downloading.
Okay, I thought so.
You are downloading new information that is, hold on, I'm waiting for the words, expanding your consciousness. You're downloading new information that's expanding your consciousness. Because before you even finished the question, they said, oh, it's positive. It's really, really positive, Dee. Okay. So again, perspective is everything, guys. Okay. You can see something physical as something fearful. And you're teaching me something right now about myself. So thank you. Or you can see it as an expansion. and your perspective is everything. You guys heard me tell about the lovely gentleman who took me through the airport, right? And took me through security. Right after he left, a woman came up to me and she said, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, why?" She said, "Well, that man, because we hugged, that man touched you. I mean, he works here. He shouldn't be touching you. Are you all right?"
Oh, wow.
And I looked at her and I said, "I'm great." And I hugged him.
Mm.
And it just, was so apparent, the different perspectives of what was being seen. I was experiencing love. She was experiencing fear.
Right.
Again, a choice.
Mm.
Yeah.
You were confirming what I was thinking, but it's constant. It's constant. So that's why I
Okay,
was,
so wait, now something else is coming in. Sorry. You're not getting the highest download that they want you to get. Am I going to the sheets? Hold on a minute. First sheet. 5, 6. Okay, you ready?
yes.
I accept that I am the creation of all creation. Look, that's my big yes. I don't know if you can see it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am. And again, back to the I am principle. We all are the creation of all of our creation in harmony and partnership with all energy, which is called God by some and many, which is called the force by some and many. Doesn't matter what you call it, but you have to accept the power of your creative force, which is your I am present.
Mm.
It feels like a force. It feels like I'm cracking open. That's what it feels like.
Well, don't resist it.
No,
and you
I'm
won't
not.
crack.
That's how I'm saying it in my mind.
There's a little bit of fear going on.
Yes.
So just go bring it on. I'm the
Yeah.
creation of all creation, and I'm ready to be as powerful in that as I can be.
That's what I'm afraid of, being
Ah,
that powerful.
Why?
why?
All right, I'm going to your mom now.
Pardon me?
Going to your mom. What did she teach you about being powerful? Either by what she verbally said or what she modeled to you.
Wow. What did my mom teach me about being powerful?
Yeah.
That women, she was a bit of a pioneer ahead of her time, mostly because she had to be. So her circumstances were really difficult.
Okay.
So she felt she had to be.
Yeah. Well, you're choosing to be.
Yes.
And
yes.
as soon as you really consciously make that choice, you're not going to crack open, baby. You're going to, you're just going to expand into your greatness.
Okay, great.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you so much.
You bet. Yippee and woo-hoo! That's
I love
awesome.
And it's funny because for Judy, I guess she doesn't have to work at being powerful. She just is. And there's a big difference.
Thank you, John.
See,
There's a big
for her, power was struggle.
Right.
For you, it's ease of creation.
Mhm. Ah, I feel that so strongly.
Yeah, me too, John. Me too.
Wow, wow, wow.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you for that blessing, guys.
Oh, fabulous.
Much love.
I'm claiming that for all of us, guys.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yes. All right.
Great.
Before I get into the next caller, everybody, I want to remind you of Dee's special offer. Get into it. She's adding the gun violence and the other module to the racism module to it as well. Plus, you'll get these other modules. Plus, you'll get the private reading from Dee in the email channel, and it's just impeccable. Take advantage of it. The link's in the chat box. You can find it on beyondtheordinaryshow.com/D25. So that's available. We'll play the replay a little bit later this evening. That'll come out. So watch for that. We'll send the link out And replays are always available at beyondtheordinaryshow.com/replay. And with that taken care of, Kat, I'm so guided to go to you right now. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Hi, Miss Dee. Hi, John. Hi,
Miss
everyone.
Kat, I love your hair. It's so pretty.
Oh, thank you. I was wondering if you would please, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. Please share any direction or insight. I'm writing on a couple of pieces, and the one that right now I'm in editing for, an editing stage. I had to like really define like the role of kind of horror and if it was too exposing, but what I'm not hiding from that, but what I'm hoping to do is add in some more playfulness. So
What's your question?
Could the guides weigh in on that, please?
I need a specific question.
Okay. Am I heading in the right direction with how I'm editing, or is there information that I need to acknowledge that would make this more powerful?
Both. And the biggest thing that you need to acknowledge, again, I accept that I am the creation of all creation. You see, you're doubting yourself. If you would just go to your heart and get out of the way, they'll write it for you. But you're up here. You're so up here. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And the best pieces are the pieces that they wrote already.
You bet.
Mm-hmm.
You bet. All the masters are coming down to help you write this, and then your bloody brain gets in the way.
Dee, can I ask
been there, done that.
Dee, can I ask a question? Because I think it'll help all
John.
of us. And it'll help Kat tremendously as well. So Kat, this is for you. And then I'm hoping Dee will just do her thing with it. What are you afraid of?
Well, I've already got the answer, Kat. Do you know?
There you go. Me too.
I think.
No, I don't want you to.
No. What do you know?
What are you afraid of in your heart?
Of it not, of it causing more pain instead of being an agent for healing.
Nope. You're afraid of your power, baby.
Yep.
You are in fear that if this book, and it's powerful, and you're supposed to get it out, but you're in fear of your power. And again, I'm going to the mom. What did your mom tell you or model to you about being powerful? Again, guys, remember, these things are locked in our brain by 8 years old. Kat?
We had to, it was so similar to the last person you talked to. Just she picked everything up and carried the whole world in her arms. You know, I mean, that's just.
And that's right
powerful
now
woman.
your definition of success.
Mm-hmm.
Success is going to be a burden. It's going to take me away from my family. Your family's involved in that. And there's a fear that you're going to lose yourself. I know that fear. When I came out in ET and I was an overnight movie star, I'm going to tell you, whomever you are, you will hold on to. You will hold on to your integrity. You will have a choice about whether you put your family first. And sometimes you will need to put yourself first, and that's okay. And you will make the right choice. Oh my gosh, you guys, let's
Thank you.
Just embrace our power. Let's know that what we do with our power is our choice, and it's up to us. Okay?
Thank you.
There's nothing
Thank
to
you so
fear, baby. They keep yelling at me. She's got to write this book. This is what happened to me when I was writing Conscious Creation. And I stopped like 6 times. And finally, they sent a messenger to me through a person, said, Dee, you've got to write this book. You've got to get Conscious Creation out. You've got to. So I did. And
Well,
they're
Dee,
saying the same thing to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's so interesting. We think that being in our power is all about us, but being in our power is really about how we show up in the world through us.
What
It's a
can I
big
give?
difference.
What can I give? How can I serve the world? What can I give?
That's being in your power.
Yeah, you bet.
Mm.
I love myself so much that I want to share this with the world.
Mm.
It's
And now-
it's so exciting, and it's so expanding, and it's freedom, baby. It's freedom. Just get up and sit there and go, all right, guys, right.
Mhm.
It's unbelievable what comes through.
Ah, so good. Kat, blessings to you. Write your book. Write
Thank
your
you
book
so
and
much.
share your
Thank
love,
you.
please,
Thank you.
please. Thank you so much for calling in. Hey, Dee, as we're wrapping up tonight, I have to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Will you name a song and tell us what it's, and then tell us what comes up?
Are you channeling for me?
I am Dee Wallacing you. Yes.
Oh, cool. All you need is love.
Ah, beautiful.
Well,
Pretty
tell me what you got, John.
Well, I got the core of your wisdom, of your essence, of your absolute knowing.
No,
That's
you
it.
bet.
That is it.
Yeah.
And I have to say that you're an embodied emissary of that. You're not just talking about it. It's not a channel, a collective that's coming through for you. It's that hope and sharing. It's you've lived this and you know it and you teach it and you see it in action. So thank you for
Thank
what
you
you
for
do and
that.
how you do it. Yes.
That's my intention for my life, for
Mm.
sure.
So beautiful. Dee Wallace, Dee Anna, I love you. You're amazing. You're amazing. Everybody, take care of the special offer. We'll run the replay again the whole week long, probably longer than that. And anything that Dee does, just do it. Just get into it.
I love you guys. This was such an amazing call. I just got all your energy and your love and I thank you. Thank you for participating. It was so great.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Dee. Mwah!
Thank y'all. Love you guys so much. Y'all have a great
All
evening.
you need is love.
All you need is
Spread it, Mary.
All you
Spread
need
it.
is love.
everybody.
Love.
All you need is love.
Don't get us
Love is all
started,
you
right?
Good night, everybody.
Love you, John.
Bye.
Thank you. I
Love you guys. Thank you.
love you.